You know what separates a millionaire from someone who will work until 70? It's not luck, it's not inheritance. It's the daily choices nobody wants to talk about. The wealthy don't just make money, they make decisions that broke people avoid, like a dentist appointment. Let me tell you something that changed my perspective 15 years ago when I started my consulting firm. I was having coffee with a client who just sold his third company for 8 figures. He looked at my watch, an expensive designer piece I'd just bought, and said, "Franklin, that watch is beautiful. But did it make you money, or did you make money for that watch?" That question haunted me for weeks. Because he was right. I was 28, earning well, but spending like I'd already made it. I was buying the costume of wealth instead of building the foundation. And that's exactly where most people get it catastrophically wrong. They see someone driving a Range Rover and think success. But what they don't see is whether that Range Rover was paid in cash after building 3 income streams, or if it's a 72-month loan draining someone's future. There's a massive difference between looking rich and being rich. One is a performance, the other is a position. I've managed over 400 employees across my businesses in the last 8 years, and I can tell you this: the ones who build wealth are the ones who make their money work harder than they do. They're not the ones with the newest iPhone every year. They're the ones who took that iPhone money and put it into an index fund, a course, or a side business. They understand something fundamental. Every dollar is a soldier. You can send it to war to bring back more soldiers, or you can dress it up and parade it around until it dies. If you want to stop being part of the 99% and finally build wealth, subscribe now. This channel is your wake-up call, because what I'm about to tell you isn't taught in schools, and it's definitely not popular at dinner parties. Time is the only asset you can't manufacture. You can make more money, you can't make more time. Yet people treat time like it's infinite and money like it's sacred. It should be the opposite. I see people spend 3 hours scrolling through social media but say they don't have time to read a book about investing. They'll watch an entire Netflix series in a weekend, but won't watch a 30-minute tutorial on building passive income. This is insanity. Warren Buffett, who's worth over $100 billion, still reads 5 to 6 hours every day. He's 94 years old and he's still learning. Meanwhile, the average person stops learning the moment they get their diploma. They think education ends with school. That's like thinking fitness ends after one workout. Your financial education should be ongoing, relentless, obsessive. If you're not learning how money works, you're volunteering to be poor. I had a friend in Mexico City, brilliant guy, engineer, made decent money, who came to me 5 years ago completely broke. He'd earned over 2 million pesos in the previous 3 years and had nothing to show for it. Not because of bad luck, because he never learned the language of money. He didn't know what a compound interest was. He thought investing was gambling. He kept his savings in a regular bank account, earning basically nothing while inflation ate it alive. He wanted to be wealthy but refused to learn the fundamentals. It's like wanting to be a surgeon but being afraid of blood. And here's what kills me: fear. Fear disguised as practicality. Fear wearing the mask of responsibility. I've consulted with hundreds of people who had incredible opportunities, business partnerships, investment chances, career moves, and they said no. Not because the opportunity was bad, because it was unfamiliar, because it required them to step outside their comfort zone. They chose the guarantee of slow financial death over the possibility of transformation. Let me be clear, I'm not talking about reckless gambling. I'm talking about calculated risks. There's a difference between being careless and being courageous. Rich people take risks after doing their homework. Broke people either take stupid risks without research or take no risks at all. Both approaches keep you poor. I remember giving a lecture in Montreal 2 years ago, and someone asked me, "Franklin, what's the one thing that separates wealthy people from everyone else?" I said, "They talk about solutions while everyone else is still describing the problem." Think about your last conversation about money. How much time was spent complaining about inflation, the government, the economy, your boss? Now, how much time was spent on, "Here's what I'm doing about it"? Wealthy people are solution-obsessed. They see obstacles as puzzles to solve, not excuses to quit. And solutions require plans. You cannot manage what you don't measure. I don't care how much you earn. If you don't track it, budget it, and direct it with intention, it disappears. It's physics. Money flows away from chaos and toward structure. I've seen people making $200,000 a year living paycheck to paycheck. I've seen people making $45,000 building wealth. The difference isn't income, it's infrastructure. Look, I get it. Planning isn't sexy. Budgeting sounds restrictive. But you know what's really restrictive? Being 65 with no retirement savings. That's restrictive. Having a plan is freedom. It means you're driving your financial life instead of being a passenger. Every wealthy person I know, and I mean every single one, knows their numbers. They know what they earn, what they spend, what they invest, and what they owe. Not approximately. Exactly. Now here's where I need to be transparent with you. Creating this content, this wake-up call you're watching right now, takes my team and me significant time and logistics. We research, script, film, and edit because we genuinely believe this information changes lives. We've seen it happen. If this resonates with you, if you want more of this unfiltered financial truth, hit that subscribe button. We respond to subscribers first in the comments because you're the ones encouraging this work. Your subscription tells us you're serious about transformation. Here's something that might sting. Opportunity doesn't arrive wrapped in comfort. It comes disguised as work, risk, uncertainty, and inconvenience. I've turned down comfortable opportunities that would have kept me exactly where I was. Instead, I said yes to things that terrified me. Starting my first business while working full-time? Terrifying. Hiring my first employees? Sleepless nights? Investing significant money into a business model I'd never tried? Absolutely terrifying. But here's what I learned. Money flows to people who take action. Not perfect action, not fearless action, just action. The people waiting for the perfect moment, the guaranteed outcome, the zero-risk opportunity. They're still waiting. Meanwhile, imperfect action takers are building empires. I think of my friend in France, Julien, who spent 5 years planning to start his online business. He had spreadsheets, market research, a beautiful business plan, but he never launched. You know who else was in his market? A 23-year-old who launched a mediocre version in 3 weeks and improved it as she went. 5 years later, she's doing 7 figures annually. Julien is still planning. Perfection is procrastination in a suit. There's a difference between being broke and being poor. Being broke is temporary, it's a situation. Being poor is a mindset. I've been broke. When I started my consulting firm, I had months where I wasn't sure I'd make rent. But I was never poor in my thinking. I was always learning, always building, always moving forward. The broke period was a season. The wealthy mindset was permanent. You have to decide. Are you going to spend your life buying things to impress people you don't even like? Or are you going to invest in assets that actually change your financial position? Are you going to waste your time or multiply it? Are you going to avoid financial education or devour it? Are you going to let fear run your financial life, or are you going to make courageous, informed decisions? Comment below. Where are you watching this from? What's the one financial habit you're changing after watching this? I want to hear from you. Subscribers, you get first replies. That's my promise. Before you go, check out the last video in the description and on the end screen. It's about the money mistakes that keep the middle class trapped forever. If this video challenged you, that one will complete the picture. Remember, wealth isn't about having money. It's about having options. It's about freedom. It's about making different choices than 99% of people are willing to make. The question is, are you ready to be different?